So I'm Dominik Rivic from CAD Global. We are a company that sells drafting software for construction and engineering industries, focusing on researching and offering alternative solutions for the program. If needed, as I said, this presentation will be available to you over a link we will send to you in the mail. Today, unlike our previous webinars, we will focus on just one software, and that is progeCAD. So how many of you today have progeCAD installed or used progeCAD? You can just type in the chat. Okay, Andrzej, you did. Okay, any more? I have the trial version. Okay. I believe that most of you already know about progeCAD. Maybe not all of you have tried it. But a new version has came out this year, 2025. We already received a lot of positive feedback from you and how much more stable, faster and better version it is. It's all thanks to the new IntelliCAD engine on which progeCAD is actually built. It even opens faster than AutoCAD in some cases. We will test it out today. Next we will dive into some dynamics blocks after we test out the IntelliCAD engine. We will see what they are used for, how to make them a little bit, but just the basics. We're not gonna go deep into it. This webinar will be a little bit smaller than usual. Then we will see some Excel table linkages inside of progeCAD, and something interesting to conclude it, we will look at progeCAD rendering tools. Okay, so let's start with the testing our speeds with AutoCAD. I have opened the AutoCAD 2025, so it's a new one, and progeCAD 2025. I will try to open the same files. Just let me find it on this. Just a second. Okay. Here we go. So this is the same file, the same size, as you can see, 139. So it's quite a large size. It's over 130 megabytes. Now I need to copy this file because we cannot open two files in separate programs. It will open it as a read-only file. So let's name this one 1. And I'm gonna open this one with AutoCAD and this one with progeCAD. I'm gonna give the AutoCAD a leading start, so open it here first and then open it here at progeCAD, continue. Now we will see. If you want, you can type down in the chat what do you think, which one will open it faster, which one will be more efficient. I never did this with larger files, so this is somewhat untested. So maybe AutoCAD will open it faster. If you have any thoughts which one gonna be faster, just type it down. Okay. It's a little bit weird that progeCAD actually open it this fast, because it's a huge file, and AutoCAD is still trying to open it. We will try to wait if AutoCAD, I think it broke, or yeah, it maybe oh, here we go, and it opened it in the wireframe, so in the faster mode, so you can open it faster, but still it opened it a little bit slower. progeCAD open it in conceptual mode. Conceptual, it's a little bit harder to open. As you can see, textures are here. If we transfer to conceptual mode, I think we will wait a few more minutes for AutoCAD to open. So nevertheless, as we can see, progeCAD is quite faster. Now there are no differences if you look at the progeCAD and AutoCAD, there are not so many differences between them. They are mostly the same programs. let's see if we can actually close AutoCAD. No, it's broken now. A little bit too much heavy load on it. Okay, now let's go with dynamic blocks as we said. Let's do a little bit of research and try to draw some dynamic blocks. We will start with a simple rectangle. Let's go 100 by 100 and move it in, move it inside a dynamic block. So we go here, create a block. Let's call it rectangle. Open it, block editor, and specify where we're gonna grab it for here, and specify all the objects inside the block editor. Here we go. Now, if you do not know how to use dynamic blocks, has any of you actually used dynamic blocks before? Do you have any dynamic blocks? Have you heard of them actually before? Okay, we're not getting any. No. Mark says no. I'm gonna show you a little bit today. It's quite time. Angie also know quite time saving to use dynamic blocks. Like let's say for this block that we made, we needed to. This is some kind of table. Let's say this is some kind of table. We can also add an offset to it, add legs to it. But we're gonna do it just for a rectangle to be more simpler, so you all can understand. Let's say that we want some more dimensions of the table for stretching in this side. Now we need to do a linear dimension first for where we want to stretch it. We want to stretch it in this side, and number of grips 2. Now if we go into stretch, select this dimension. Okay, now we specify the point of the parameter where we want to stretch it, here. Okay, now we specify the frame which captures all the objects that's gonna be stretched. These objects and this element. Okay. Now if we close this block, save it and close it, go into drawing, we can see an arrow here. Now we can stretch it. This is actually what we added. Now this, as I said, this could have multiple details inside. This could be a more advanced block. You can draw anything inside that you want, and it's still basically the same parameter. Now if we want, let's say we have a table that's 100 by 100, 100 by 150 or something like that. We can also add those limits. If you go to value set, and we can select increments or list. List is basically, as the name says, you have a list. We can add here like 120, let's add 200 also. We have 3 options in this list, and if we close the block again, go here and try to expand it, it will only limit us to these 3 options. So it's easier if you have some doors or let's say windows that are just the correct size. You can do it like that. And increments are something like lists, but a little bit different. Let's go and have a look. If you select increments, first we will need to address the distance of the increments. Let's say 25, minimum distance, let's say 100, because that's our table, and 200 is the maximum. Let's just do 225, it looks nicer. Okay, we close the block again. If we do the same thing, you can see it limits to 25 increments, step, and 225 is the limit. So there are multiple ways to limit your stretch parameter. Okay, let's have a look at let's just bring this back to where it was. Now there is an easier way to stretch it. You don't have to click and pull on it. There's a much easier way, and it's called lookup. It's a lookup table. Now we can select where we can put the lookup table wherever we want. Let's put it down here. And now if we go into this section, select the lookup table, it will open this window. Now here we can add properties that we already have on this element behind us. Let's add the distance parameter that we just played with, and underneath it you can write down all the increments, or just basically like the list parameter, but it will do it a little bit different. I will show you. We can write down 100, 125, let's do 200, and but on this side you can also write down a different name, like small like for small table, medium table, and large table. Okay, now we close the block, save it, click on this block. We have an arrow down here for the lookup table. If we just hover our mouse over it, we have a menu for small, medium, and large. So we can do it like this, and also you can do something better, more interesting. Let's say, okay, we will delete these lookup tables with visibility parameters. Visibility parameters are quite interesting. Now let's say this box, some kind of element is an electrical shim or something like that. We'll draw this line here, and let's draw an arrow, like this is a let through electrical element. And let's put a hatch also, like a solid hatch. Here we go, and add these points to enter. Okay. And let's delete these lines because we do not need these lines anymore. We made the hatch. Okay, so we have a hatch, something that looks like this. Now let's say this is a component in an electric shim. Let's save the block. As you see, we deleted all the parameters we made earlier. Now we can draw a little bit like our shim here, our blueprint. Now if we move this block to the shim, it's quite difficult to move it around, even if you turn off the auto. It's quite difficult to arrange it. Like if we have this up part here, we need to rotate it. But we can do this automatically with the dynamic blocks. If we click on alignment, click on the center of the block, and just make the place where we want to align the line to. That's basically it. Save changes, and now we have another grab handle, and as you can see, it aligns. It aligns to every line we make, even if we make a line by an angle, like this. We click it, there we go, it aligns. So it's quite easier to make it like this. Much better. Now let's say when we draw this element, we want to look it downwards, not upwards. We still need to rotate it, so it's a lost cause. We do not want that. We want just clicking on the block. We can also do that. We just click on the flip, select also the center where we want to flip it around. Let's put this flip state here, and the flip grip, we're gonna move it a little bit down because there is our mirror grip. We do not want these two intersecting. Here we go, the flip grip is down here, and now we go to the flip action. Click on the parameter, flip state here, and now we click on the hatch. Click enter. If we go back, we have this flip arrow, click on it, and it flips around. So now we can easily edit our shim like it's in the wrong way, flip it around, there we go. Much easier. You can also save these blocks very easily. Just right click, save block to disk, and you can have them save. So in the disk, open the disk by the side, so you have a little library. And also if you want to insert them back in, just go insert block, find it from the file you saved it to, or if you already inserted it, here you can have a block name, insert it and just put it where you want. You need the scale. Let's do it again. Insert, put it here. Scale is 1, rotation is 0, and now we can play again with our block. It's much easier than drawing it again or copying some blocks that you have saved somewhere. Now let's go to the Excel tables to take a look at these Excel tables. how you can input or dynamic input the tables and have them ready. Like if we have a table right like here, I'll just open it, like a simple table. If you have any questions, please write them down in the chat. The rest will be muted, so we don't have any interference. So it's a simple table like this. You can easily just transfer it if we have the file here and move it, select, and there we go, that's inserted. But we have also a few more ways to insert it to be a dynamic table. If we go into insert, all the way right we have data link manager. If we click on the data link manager, we have Excel links. Now we can create a new Excel data link. We can name it table 1, choose a file. This is my file, open. There we go, it's a preview here. You can a little bit edit. If it's another sheet, you can select the sheet. Okay. Okay, now we inserted the table into the data link manager. It's inside of our model. Now if we write down table, we can select to insert another table, like create another table, but we can also select from a data link. This is our table that we made from the data link manager. We click OK, we paste it, and there we go. Now this table is connected to this Excel table. We can even try to edit it. Let's delete these two, save, OK, and now we can click here, update from source, and click on the table, click enter, and now it's updated just like the table we made in the Excel. Okay, do you have any questions about the tables? Now, I believe that because a smaller amount of you are watching, not like the last time we had tons of people, so there were quite a few questions. But now it's a little bit lonely for the rest of you. Okay, now we will move to the render part of progeCAD. progeCAD also has a rendering tool. It's quite simple, not so hard like the rest of the tools. We have it at the view tab right here. We click on render and open render examples, so we don't make another model. We can just insert these ones that are already made. As you can see, it's a nice model, pre-made, and let's just click open render. Okay. Now this render will be open in another program of progeCAD called Artisan. If you click it for the first time, it will ask you to download Artisan. It's like 100 megabytes, not too much. Now we can see this model a little bit better. Translucency to glass and everything else. We can add lighting, different kinds of lighting to our model. Okay, and we can also edit the materials. These materials can be edited, add new, add something else. Also the backgrounds can be edited. These are just some examples, quick examples. Now it's quite useful if you need a quick edit and you do not have any programs for editing. They are quite heavy, quite expensive. Like V-Ray or Enscape, you need to also have SketchUp or some other third-party program to actually have it. And we can see here our pre-rendered files. It's not too much, but it's quite okay. It's quite good for a progeCAD, for a free program Artisan inside of progeCAD. It's excellent to have. Also, you can, if you close this, we can edit create new cameras for editing, like from here to the back of the room, and also access these cameras in the view manager. Now if you look in the view manager views, here's the camera that we made. It's a little bit different to view from this side, but it's a quick preview. Okay, we actually covered this quite quickly. It's maybe because there are not so many people to that presentation. Let's close Revit, and that's basically all we had prepared for today's presentation. Do you have any questions maybe? If you have you got started in progeCAD? Well, many years before, I got started in AutoCAD, but after a while, AutoCAD is quite expensive. Then we moved to progeCAD and saw no difference at all. I was actually a BIM manager in Revit. I was mostly doing BIM stuff. Many years I have been drawing in BIM. Then we moved to project for our base program in CAD drawing. So there are it's not so different from AutoCAD. Besides the price is a huge difference. It's like 6 times more cheaper, and you have a perpetual license for it. You can use it for any time you want. If you have any further questions for later that you missed, you can also reach out to us over our WhatsApp or our mail, cadforafrica.co.za. This webinar also will be sent to you as a video recording. As I said last time, we had a slightly longer webinar, like 45 minutes or something like that. But this time we sped it up for you, so you don't have to be here all day. If that's all for the questions, thank you all once again, and I hope to see you next week. We will have a next week also webinar like this, cover some things. If you have some themes for us to cover that you want to learn more about progeCAD that you don't know, please let us know. Andrzej, Standard, you can, yeah. Okay, I will actually show you excellent question. We didn't quite cover it. Render is basically used mostly by architects or interior designers to realistically show your project. I will show you now an example. I have an example here that I did. I will just find it. Here we go. I will open the rendering up in a different program, so it's called SketchUp. SketchUp is quite a versatile program. It shows 2D and 3D, but it has a quite stronger render engine than the progeCAD, so we can see the difference here quite easily. Now this is the view before rendering. And I will show you now, just let me find it, the view after rendering. Does progeCAD has built-in rendering. I'm using this, SketchUp is not built-in. SketchUp is, you have to pay for SketchUp, and then you have to pay for another rendering engine. For progeCAD you have that for free, Artisan is free, but for progeCAD it's a simple render tool. You don't have to mind all the specification properties. For this kind of tool that I'm showing now, there are tons of properties, tons to learn from. So you cannot just take it and work from it. You have to learn. Now here is the preview before render, and here is after render, how it looks. And this is actually the point of rendering, so you can show more realistic presentations to your investors, or to put into your portfolio or something like that. Yeah, it's purely visual, but it's like sugar on top of a cake. When you have a project ready or you need to sell something, you can sell it this way. Show them your renders, show them your vision, their wantings, and it sells quite quickly. So it's much used in the business. Do you have maybe any more questions to ask? Okay, if not, yeah, we covered some parts of progeCAD, but we didn't cover the features about import and export. progeCAD has more importing and exporting options than AutoCAD. That's why most of people are actually moving to progeCAD. It's faster, as we saw today, it's much faster. It doesn't break. It supports every AutoCAD drawing that you have. You can open it in progeCAD and you can save it like it was in AutoCAD drawn. Supports every dynamic block that was made in AutoCAD, same format drawing. And that's basically it about progeCAD. It's a cheaper alternative version to AutoCAD that most people are starting to use because Autodesk is quite expensive now. Thank you all once again, and I hope to see you next time, if that was all for the questions. See you later. Bye.